Hello, how's it going? I hope we're all having a great day. My name's Dylan Cooper. My student number is 32942548. Please excuse my voice. I've got a bit of a cold, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Be able to smash through this. This is my presentation on what kind of H&Ss educator or teacher that I want to become. So, what it means to be a H&Ss teacher. What I believe anyway. So, humanities and social sciences is a broad and complex learning area that requires passion and enthusiasm to teach it well and effectively. So, to teach H&Ss, an educator must understand and present the learning areas of history, geography, civics and citizenship, and business and economics. So H&Ss is so important in a student's life as that these mentioned topics, relate to the real world so heavily and help develop skills the students will use for the rest of their lives. So some of these lifelong skills include analysing and evaluating procedures, applying logic and reasoning to a situation, inquiring, identifying, exploring and organising information and ideas, organise and process information, and reflecting on both oneself and reflecting on a sequence of events. So this is the overview of my classroom that I want to create. So as a future H&Ss teacher, I believe it is important to stay true to my authentic self and teach in a way that is unique to me to promote the quality of individuality in a modern society full of conformity and followers. So I aim to create a progressive and diverse classroom environment that is culturally inclusive, safe and equitable for all students regardless of culture, sex or ethnicity. So that the room is full of positivity and enjoyment whilst also remaining productive. I have a zero bullying policy that comes hand in hand with creating a safe classroom environment where students are able to express themselves freely without the fear of being criticised, judged or ridiculed by their peers. Essentially, I want my students to feel safe and okay to fail and to recognise that failing is an opportunity for learning. I want to desocialize learning through problem-solving, situated multicultural approaches that match both students' interests and the curriculum by creating lessons and activities that are relevant to them and the local community in which I am teaching. So although my personal ambitions and goals as a H&Ss teacher are important and productive and relevant, as we all teach differently, I also have to adhere to the Australian and Western Australian curriculum. This is to ensure that my students reach the achievement standards of their particular year groups and their assessments. I aim to equip my students with the skills they need to be critical thinkers and analysers to ensure they feel confident to question topics they are unsure of, to advance their education and to prepare them to be active citizens and employees of our rapidly developing society. To do this, I aim to implement a democratic teaching approach in which I allow students to make their own decisions and take responsibility for their own education as well as the classroom's ethos and environment. So this is like including them in rule making and jobs and roles and expectations. So just a little anecdote now. So just growing up, I had some unbelievable H&Ss teachers, and I also had some really bad ones. So I noticed that the main difference between the good and the bad teachers was how they presented the curriculum and the tasks. So the good H&Ss teachers were able to present the curriculum in a way that wasn't so in your face and confronting and assessment based, and instead was a slow, progressive, sequential structure that built on the base knowledge every week. So this is how I aim to present my lessons and not just throw my students in the deep end expecting them to already know the history behind a topic and go straight to the questions. My favourite H&Ss teachers were also full of light and energy. to make the topics fun and exciting, which is another teaching feature I aspire to achieve, as H&Ss can be such a monumental topic that can and does change lives by opening the eyes of the students to the world around them, to the world around them. And I think this is especially true in small country towns where they're not really necessarily exposed to the different cultures and personalities and just everything that sort of city people are more exposed to, or people that travel. So I know, being from Pinjarra, I certainly developed a desire to travel when I learnt about all the history and culture of so many beautiful cities and countries all around the world. So now I'd just like to expand upon what I said earlier about developing a democratic classroom. So the type of classroom that I strive to create and relates to one of Shaw's values is the democratic classroom environment through the distribution of roles and responsibilities. So a democratic classroom empowers a student to make choices in their own education and presents opportunities for them to be involved in decision making, which increases engagement and participation. The idea of them playing a role in decision making and making the classroom a better place is also a transferable lesson that relates to life in general and teaches them that they can make a difference for very important societal topics, such as when converting that into real life situations is voting for the Prime Minister and stuff like that, and having your say. So students also, for a democratic classroom environment, students also develop teamwork skills and learn to accommodate for others to achieve a common goal. Through a democratic classroom environment, my role also extends to showing that I care about them, as all teachers should really, by showing an interest in their life outside of school. So if Jimmy's plays soccer or football on the weekend, on Monday when they come in, I'll make a conscious effort to go and speak to them and ask them how they went, and it just sort of builds a rapport. It makes them feel comfortable and a bit safer, really. Now, on top of democratic classroom, I want to add another one of Shaw's values, which being the multicultural room. So, although this is something I value strongly and believe it should just be given in the modern world we live in, I don't believe it is 100% that yet. I think we're definitely heading there, but I don't think necessarily all teachers, and I hate to target the old school teachers, but I don't think 100% of us are embracing the multicultural ways. So this is something I definitely want to create in my room. So to do this, to create a multicultural classroom, it contributes to forming a safe and progressive environment for all students, regardless of their background, where they can feel confident and be open about asking questions and suggesting ideas. So through forming a multicultural room, I will strive to embrace all types of diversity and incorporate ideas, beliefs, and people into my lessons from different countries and cultural backgrounds. So a strong multicultural presence will assist students to gain a diverse insight into other societies and cultures to enable a truly international education. All in all, as a H&Ss teacher, I strive to make my in-class activities as hands-on and as engaging as possible, providing students with opportunities for discovery learning and creative tasks. This is strongly influenced by Piaget's theory, who emphasizes the concept that we learn best by doing and then reflecting about our experience of doing. So not only does this idea of doing it, hands-on doing activities, make lessons more exciting and fun, it's also supported by Piaget's studies provide reason to believe it is also a more effective learning and information retention tool. So without further ado, thank you very much for listening, and feel free to check up on me in a year to see if all my plans and goals have progressed nicely and I'm using them. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for the semester. Cheers, see ya.